The woman doing my bikini wax saw my C-section scar and said, "But this is from twins. I've never been pregnant and my husband had a vasectomy." I was getting my regular bikini wax when my esthetician Rosa suddenly stopped and examined my lower abdomen closely. She traced a finger along a scar I'd had for 3 years and said, "This is definitely from twins. See how the incision extends further? Single births don't require this length." My blood went cold. I'd never been pregnant. My husband Tom had a vasectomy before we met, and the scar was from an emergency appendectomy I'd had while visiting his parents. Rosa had worked as a surgical nurse for 15 years before becoming an esthetician. She insisted this was a C-section scar, specifically from a multiple birth. She showed me photos on her phone comparing appendectomy scars to C-section scars. Mine was textbook cesarean. The placement, the curve, the way it had healed. She said whoever did this had delivered babies from my body. I felt sick trying to remember that week 3 years ago. Tom's parents lived in rural Montana. I'd gotten severely ill during our visit. Intense abdominal pain, fever, confusion. Tom and his mother rushed me to a small clinic where his childhood friend Derek was the surgeon. I'd woken up 3 days later, groggy and in pain. They said my appendix had burst, and I was lucky to be alive. Rosa convinced me to get medical records from that clinic. When I called, they had no record of my surgery. No admission, no procedure, nothing. The receptionist said, "Dr. Derek Morrison had lost his license 2 years ago for performing illegal adoptions and hadn't worked there in 4 years. So who had operated on me?" I confronted Tom that night and his face went white. He tried to deny it, but I'd already gotten an ultrasound that afternoon. The technician confirmed evidence of a previous pregnancy, stretched uterine tissue, specific scarring patterns that only occur after carrying multiples. My body had carried twins to near full term. Tom broke down and confessed everything. 3 years ago, I'd been drugged at his parents' house. While unconscious, they'd discovered I was pregnant. With twins Tom had somehow fathered despite his supposed vasectomy. He'd never actually had one. The pregnancy was from when he'd been drugging me monthly, trying to get me pregnant without my consent. When I did get pregnant, they decided to take the babies without telling me. His mother was infertile and desperate for grandchildren. When I got pregnant, they saw an opportunity. Derek performed the C-section in a veterinary clinic Tom's father owned. They kept me sedated for a week while I recovered, telling me I'd had appendix surgery. The twins were given to Tom's sister Rachel, who'd been faking a pregnancy. She'd raised them as her own for 3 years. I called the police immediately. They arrested Tom, his parents, Derek, and Rachel that night. At Rachel's house, they found 3-year-old twin boys who looked exactly like Tom and had my green eyes. DNA tests confirmed they were mine. Rachel had documentation showing she'd given birth at home with Derek as the attending physician. The whole family had been in on it. The investigation revealed Derek had done this to 6 other women, drugging them, stealing their babies, and selling them to desperate couples. Tom's family had paid him $50,000 for the procedure. They'd been monitoring my cycle for months, planning the perfect time to drug me and harvest the pregnancy they'd forced on me. Tom got 25 years for kidnapping and assault. His parents got 15 years each. Derek got life. 2 women had died from his procedures. Rachel lost the twins, who were returned to me. During sentencing, Tom's mother actually screamed that I was selfish for wanting her grandchildren back. Rosa saved my life and reunited me with children I never knew existed. The twins don't remember Rachel as their mother. They were too young. They're adjusting to their real name and their real mother. Rosa does my waxing for free now, saying she's just grateful she could help. That scar I thought saved my life from appendicitis was actually where they stole my motherhood.